feel it, I can feel it, You know I said it's true. You know I said. You know I said it's true. You know I said. You know I said it's true. I could be.
Hey guys, welcome back. I got the motor back here finally. I'm going to try and get this thing stuck back in here. I'm going to show you a few cuts of how I got everything ran here before I stick it back in there. So the motor is completely rebuilt basically, and I'll start from the bottom, work our way to the top as to what we did with this one. So I put King bearings, tri-metals in the bottom on the crank. It's got K1 HB rods in it. I put Corolla pistons in it, 10-to-1 compression ratio because it's a street car and I wanted to get up on the boost a little bit faster, a little more responsive. And I don't have E85 up here. We can only run pump fuel basically. It's all I'm going to want to run on this thing. The top end is a complete SuperTech valve assembly. It's bored 0.5 millimeter over, 0.5 millimeter in the valves. SuperTech Inconel exhaust valves, stainless steel intake valves. We did 5-angle cut on them, poured and polished the head. And we're running the kit that's designed for this car. 86-pound valve springs is all we were able to put in here. We tried to squeeze the 95 pounds in there, but they got a different retainer at the top, and so they won't fit. You actually have to get the 86s as big as they can do because of the rocker assembly on the R40 head. But basically we got everything from here. We'll go from there, guys. Thanks. Spend a few minutes back here to discuss a few ways that you can do this and exactly what I did. So back here is where I tapped in for the oil pressure, where the oil pressure sensor goes. So that's the factory oil pressure sensor. This is for my actual oil pressure gauge, and I do believe this is just a K-tune, just like a oil splitter, 8-inch NPT. And then I was able to run my line over there, and this is how the max speed fits. So if it needs to be, his was straight when he sent it here, and I had to have another guy fix it. We tweaked it up a little bit because it wouldn't clear the motor mount down here, the back one. He said he ran a smaller motor mount, but then we got the wastegate down there at the bottom, and because I have Type S oil pump in mine, I was able just to tap my oil in here. It actually gets a little tighter, it's like that when it's in there. But the other option that you have too is it is low enough that you still can drain from the timing cover drain kit that you can get. And that's pretty much it for that. So for the coolant lines here and here on the turbo, it's just loop for now, but you can, instead of running the coolant lines through the throttle body, which is just for like colder temperature, you can actually pick it up here because this is pressure and return, and I'm going to run them back in and over top of there once we get the thing back out. But really, for the most part, I figured this was just as easy to show you outside of the motor so you could have a way better look. This here is from max speed as well. It's in a tight radius, 90 degree, because you're at the back. You need to get that thing down this 3-inch V-band. And then I'm able to run my two oxygen sensors there, one for the factory wideband and the other one for the AFR gauge, right? Other than that, pretty much straightforward. Everything else is pretty much factory. I want to touch on this real quick before I get the VTC actuator in here and everything, but your electric power steering is down there. So basically when I pulled this thing apart, that's kind of the original, the shield. I just kind of bent it a little bit, added a few pieces because like there's some heavy power wires and we got exhaust running through here. So you got to be careful. The other thing I did is I removed the insulation off of the firewall because it was looking like it was going to be maybe possibility of a bit of fire hazard. Anything with a rear mounted turbo that's not supposed to be there, you really got to be careful with your heat. But this one here, I've gone on 2-hour each way road trips with this one before I had it apart the last time. I had no issues with any kind of heat. I am running turbo blanket as well, but just want to save those wires. That'd be an expensive fix.